Yo, what's good, y'all? Your boy Justin Henry back, baby! We mock drafting today. I'm drafting from the 2 spot. It's a 12-team mock draft. If you're here for the first time, I'll make it the last time, y'all. Make sure you hit the sub button, drop a like on the video. We getting this thing ran up, baby. It's fantasy football mock draft season for us here on this channel. And so we're going to be trying out different strategies. For those who tried to draft with me yesterday, I apologize, messed up. You see the situation in the back. This is my office. I got the office. I got a home studio. I got things to figure out since I've been moving around. But once I do get this thing figured out, we locked and loaded. Hopefully the audio is good for y'all. Hopefully the video is crystal clear for y'all. Hopefully y'all run up the damn comments. Let's go, baby. So we're going to be drafting today. I'm going to draft from the 2 spot, hoping I get my boy Bijan, but I'll probably take Gibbs. And I'm going to walk through different strategies, obviously, in the draft. If you have a specific strategy you want me to try out, let me know in the comment section. If you haven't gone to TikTok or YouTube or Instagram and looked at some of the shorts, I've been posting different kind of content for y'all on there. We got the live content on here. What's popping, y'all? What's popping? No news for the football world. Ain't a whole lot going on right now. So that means we got to sharpen our iron right now. And we are going to sharpen our iron. I'm going to help y'all out. These sleeper ADP, we got to update this shit, though, because sleeper ADP, man. What's good, Trey? What's popping, my boy? It's been a minute, man. How you living, dude? Keep pushing the start time, bro. I'm me. You know what I'm saying? You see the situation. I got to make sure my mic check is good. Got to make sure my camera's crystal clear. Got to make sure my St. Louis fitted is on. You feel me? You feel me? AG, what's good, my boy? What's good? Daniel, what's popping? Happy Thursday to you, too. Diego, Just Us, what's good? Different Strokes, what's good? AG said, what's your takes on guys like Achane and Neighbors? If they fall in drafts, you taking them or fading them? That's a very good question. Let me get this draft ready to go for y'all. We up? Okay, bet. I got a couple thoughts on that. When it comes to like Devon Achane, I'm kind of scared of taking Devon Achane at cost. If he falls to me, cool. But he had a really good season last year. The thing is with Malik Willis, we don't know what this offense is going to look like. I got a feeling it's going to be a bad offense. Just a bad offense. So I do have some concerns about Devon Achane and his production this year, especially like if he's dealing with any injuries. We ain't really seen that from him. So I just have personal concerns about that. I'd much rather have, a Derrick Henry who normally goes around the same area. You give me a Marion Hampton, for sure I'm taking that over Devon Achane. Saquon Barkley, for sure I'm taking over Achane. So I think we just have, when it comes to Achane, unfortunately, I'm probably going to stay away from him, even though I was on him last year. And then Neighbors, I'm probably staying away from him just in general. Like maybe he comes back later in the year and it's popping and it looks good. But I think for now, I'm going to stay away from Malik Neighbors. You know what I'm saying? I can't do it. I'm mad my boy JB gone for real. Actually, me and Dub talked about that on a post. I got that. I got some content coming about JB. I think it's a good move for him. I feel for you Celtics fans though. That CBA is a mug, man, because you can't pay two guys $300. You can't pay two guys $300, man. It's not working out like that, and you got to commit to those two and try to build around them. It's a tough. I think it's tough. They couldn't win this year with both of them healthy. Well, Tatum was healthy. They couldn't win with both of them healthy. I don't know. But, damn, it's tough, man. And to see him go to the Sixers, too, sheesh. Cody was good. Ant was good. Prodigy was good. Link for the draft is in the chat right now. If you want to join, we got 2 spots left for the mock. We got Team 7 and Team 12 available. I'm about to send it to the Discord, too. See if somebody want to join from the Discord. 2 spots left. 2 spots left. See if we can get this thing. 1 spot left. 1 spot left. I'm going for the 2 spot, man. If y'all got questions about the strategy, we talk about it. The ADP on here is a little weird, so I'm trying to figure it out myself. But if you want to get in the draft, link is in the chat. We got Phil's last spot. Looks like we're locked and loaded, ready to go. Let's get this thing started. I did 30 seconds on the clock, all right? 30 seconds on the clock so we can get potentially another draft going in. Potentially another one. So if you miss this one, might have a chance to get to the next one, all right? First overall pick, you're up on the clock. You're up on the clock. Clutch, you up. You took Jamar Chase? Thank you. I'll take Bijan. You already know. Jamar Chase at the 1 is an interesting choice. I just think that, coming off the season he had last year, it's going to be tough to – I mean, we know what he can do when he's the number 1 player. It's just I think at the running back position to get a guy, because there's – after RB 25 to 30-ish, it's ugly. I don't know if y'all seen it. It's ugly. Ugly. I think at least you got to grab one running back before like the 4th round. Have to. So taking Chase, I'm going to be curious to see how that plays out. Just saw you on the timeline. Keep bringing the juice. The Juice League was popping. Appreciate you subbing, my boy. Yeah, we bring the juice the whole time, man. We got, some really good content on here, really good conversations we have. This isn't your typical fantasy football page. You're not going to just get yards per route run and air yards. And I find we win here. That's the goal is to win when it comes to fantasy on this page. They could be Pels fan. J-Han Trust has been terrible all these years. I think that the Pelicans, I don't know what the Pelicans, I feel like the Pelicans get good and then they're like, oh shit, we're too good. Let me just dismantle this whole thing and trade everybody away. I don't know what the Pelicans, I don't understand their goal. Like, are they trying to win? Are they trying to tank? I never understood the Pels. And Zion's one of the more disappointing players I've ever seen. I had high expectations for Zion, and it just did not work. I'm going to warn you, I haven't done any research or kept up with anything this offseason, so I'm going to be rusty. It's all good. That's what the mock draft is for, baby. That's what the mock draft is for. I'm going to be honest with you. If you come in here and think you're trying to win a mock draft, you're probably going about it the wrong way. You got to try different things in the mock draft, right? Try taking some players at different positions. That's why we're doing this in July, so that in August when we draft our teams, we win in, baby. That's what it's about. So good to be rusty. I'm rusty still. Because in about a month, you're not going to get some of these players that have been sneaking by me, that sneaked by me yesterday in the draft, man. And I will say this, like in the first round, you can't really miss right now. I don't think you can really miss, just to be honest with you. I don't. I think in the first round, you're guaranteed like a hitter. Which is, you know what I'm saying? Like in like last year, we were having Brian Thomas Jr. conversations in there. I personally was. Sorry about that, guys. But Brian Thomas Jr. conversations, there's not really a Brian Thomas in here. Everybody in here is like veterans, proven. You're getting elite talent across the board. So that's the one thing I can say about the first round this year is it feels like you really can't miss, especially if you get that back end pick. You're getting like 2 studs, almost guaranteed. 2 studs, almost guaranteed. We need flavor in this game. I got you, bro. That's what I'm here for, man. And I've been here for a minute. If your first time here, I've been here about 5 years now in this space, but I've been winning leagues for years. And so, yes, we need some flavor in this space. And I'm on TikTok too. That's where I blew up. But, yeah, we've been doing this for a minute, man. So enjoy the content, Brian. We got more on the way. We just getting started. I think about JB is they didn't like fix the cap situation. It's the same for the next few years. They could have moved JB later. It seemed like some stuff was going on behind the scenes too. So that's the only thing. It feels like there was some other stuff going on with JB behind the scenes. Oh, of course, y'all leave H-Han and Neighbors here for me, huh? I'm going to go Brock. Of course, y'all left H-Han and Neighbors. And since we're talking about trying stuff, I'm going to show you guys one of the strategies I might be trying this year. I don't know if I love it, but I'm going to try it. So I normally don't go early tight end and early quarterback. I want to see how things play out here in this draft. Who is this random kid? I'm your daddy. Get to know me, bro. Random kid, man. You see the grays? Yo, I had to shave them down. Somebody called me out for the grays yesterday. Said I was looking old, so I had to get my little shave in, man. I can't be looking too gray. I can't. J-Han, I'm going for the 3-peat leagues. Boy, let's go. You already know. I know y'all winning. And that's why we're here. We're trying out new stuff, right? So I went out took Brock Bowers in the 2nd, right? I'm surprised Trey McBride's going ahead of him right here, but I'm not too mad with taking Brock Bowers or waiting. Trey McBride and then waiting at the tight end position. If you're going to take a tight end, I don't advocate taking Colson Loveland, Harold Fannin, Tyler Warren, the younger tight ends that are in like the Tucker Crafts. I think you can wait a little bit longer, and you're going to get very similar type of upside with Kyle Pitts, George Kittle, Mark Andrews, Dallas Goedert, Travis Kelce, Dalton Kincaid. Like, there's a lot of tight ends later. Even if you go a little bit further down and you like, a Chika Conquo, you get Hunter Henry, who's been like a top 12 tight end most of the years. I think you can get tight end a lot later unless you go elite, because I think there's a huge divide between them. So my strategy this time was try out doing tight end and quarterback, because I feel like Josh Allen is for sure going to be a top 3 guy. Top 3 guy. You know that. Locked and loaded. I don't have to really worry about injuries. But I do have a couple players that I like later on. I've talked about them: Drake May, Trevor Lawrence, Pat Mahomes, Brock Purdy. I like where those guys go. It's just, to be sure of it, I'm getting Josh Allen. How you feel about taking quarterback early? So yeah, and in 10-team leagues, I don't know about 10-team leagues, because I think you can get elite quarterbacks 10-team leagues. I think you can get some elite guys later on. So, but I think in 12-team leagues, Josh Allen, I've never been like a take Josh Allen guy, and this is the time I think I think Josh Allen's 3rd round. Josh Allen is a very nice value this year. If he falls to you, I kind of reached for him here, which I wouldn't recommend reaching for him here. I kind of reached for him right here. Been rocking with you for the past 3 years. Go every year a winning season. I know it. I know it. I know it. If you've been rocking for if you're in a regular, I would say if you're in a regular league, you're cashing out. Cashing every year. If you're in a super competitive league, you're competitive every year. Maybe you get an injury, something doesn't work out in your favor. We miss on a 1st-round pick that we talk about, but there's not a whole lot of like just true. I haven't had a terrible season. I've never had a terrible season. I know if you rocking, you can't really have a terrible season. I actually like Brock a lot late second. So let me explain why I like Brock in the second. This is I need to talk about this. So we talk about like difference of players versus like the points of the next best player. I think that to me is where I see the win with Brock Bowers. Okay. Like Trey McBride last year was a league winner, so to speak, right? A league winner because he provided so much more than the next best tight end, right? And when you go to the quarterback position, outside of the quarterbacks that score 400 in their random season, right? Like Lamar will score 400 in a random season, or the quarterbacks that have that upside. Most of your quarterbacks are going to be, the elite guys are going to be around 350. And then the next drop off is to like the 300 range. So it's a 50-point differential, right? And there's plenty of options in there. When it comes to receivers, right? You got your 300-point receivers, and then you have some 300 to 400-point receivers, and then you have a drop off. But you start 3 of them, and you have a flex. So there's not as big of a differential. The one thing I really like about getting a Brock Bowers or a Trey McBride early this year is because you'll get top 10 receiver production out of them. You'll have the upside for that at the tight end position. So now if I have Brock Bowers and somebody else, let me make this pick real quick. Brock Bowers, you have Brock Bowers, and then somebody else is rocking with, let's call it Harold Fannin, and Harold Fannon's a bust. There's such a big difference between Brock Bowers and Harold Fannin. I think that difference can be a lot more than like Chase Brown and Trevion Henderson, right? Kind of going at the same. Like, I think the difference between A.J. Brown and Terry McLaurin, I would love to say this, but like the difference between A.J. Brown and Terry McLaurin is going to be much different than the difference between Brock Bowers and, let's call it, Tucker Kraft. Point-wise. So that's where, for me, it's very intriguing to see. It's my pick right now, too. Let's go T-Mac. It's very intriguing to see how the team will look afterward. But I feel more confident with a team with Brock Bowers as an anchor at tight end and the potential for big games, especially in fantasy playoffs. I want those guys that can score, that can be number one at their position. And Brock Bowers is going to do that most days, most weeks. So I like this pick a lot. I do like it. You want guys who can finish number one at their position multiple weeks. It gives you the outliers give you a chance to win. So, especially in the playoffs. Oh yeah, my bad, Gabe. My bad, Toke. My bad. My bad. You already know we locked in. You already know we locked in. We already locked in. That was on me. How you feel about Brees ADP? Third round's fine. I think he has a chance to beat that ADP, but he did just get paid. Sometimes when guys get paid, they have bad years, and it depends on how good the Jets are. So I think he comes with risk. Otherwise, he'd be probably a back-end second-round pick. Where'd he go here? Yeah, he was a late third. No, early third. No, late third. I think that's about where he should go. Maybe even a little earlier. I think his ADP is good right now. Lock in with the Bulls rookie if you like unicorn. Caleb Wilson, bro. Hey, he looked like a dog. Caleb Wilson looks like a dog. He looks like one of the ones I didn't get. He wasn't in the tournament, so I don't really follow college hoops like that. And then when March Madness was going on, I don't think he played. But seeing some of his, I watched some tape on Caleb Wilson because I was like, who is this kid? He looks like a dog. I'm talking like you're talking about future GOAT stuff. Like, I don't know about future GOAT, but I think future dog, like high level player for years to come. Yeah, he's gonna be exciting. He's gonna be real exciting. He's gonna be real exciting. Remind me a lot of like Sean Kemp. That was the name. When I watched the tape, I was like, oh, you remind me a lot of like Sean Kemp. And that's, I mean, I don't say that. And I think Sean Kemp with a better jumper. Sean Kemp with a better jumper. What's the topic? What's good, Stuart? We talking fantasy football right now, mock drafting, but we got regular football talks on this page, basketball on this page. Shit, you can talk about whatever you want. You got a fast food you like, talk about that. You go overseas and travel, talk about that. We'll talk about marketing and business, talk about that. We'll talk about family, talk about that. Whatever you want to drop in the chat, it's up to you, baby. We doing a mock draft right here for fantasy football, though. Talking about players, strategy, and that's mainly where we talk about initially fantasy football, but we got some cool stuff on the way, my boy. This is going to be interesting. And Trey, I'm not going to talk about this too much. I'm going to talk about it a little bit, but this is going to be interesting. This New England and then the Green Bay receiving room. The Green Bay receiving room is going to be very interesting because you get rid of Dobbs, who is the red zone guy specifically, but also kind of like Jordan Love's trusted target, right? So out goes Romeo Dobbs. Out goes Dontavian Wicks. So you're left with Jaden Reed. You're left with Matthew Golden. You got Tucker Kraft. And it's like there's a lot of potential for these guys to really, really vault in value. Really vault in value. Like, I see Matthew Golden and Jaden Reed are both going outside of the top like 30 receivers right now. And one of those guys is going to hit. Like Jaden Reed's been a top 24 receiver outside of last year. Like he's normally been on a per game average about a top 24 receiver. And then Matthew Golden, first round pick for him last year. He's going to have bigger days, bigger spike days. You know, they were looking his way a lot. We cashed on the page. We cashed a lot on the Matthew Golden 30-yard receptions, right? I was telling you guys about that. They look deep for Matthew Golden a lot. And so I think as his role goes and expands, it's going to be a great, like you got Josh Jacobs, you got Tucker Kraft back. Like there's a lot of potential here because there's not any consistent, reliable targets on this team outside of those two. So I think Matthew Golden and Jaden Reed, both of those guys, strong potential for both of them. Who auto-drafted, man? We can't be auto-drafted. We got the 30-second clock. I'm talking and still drafting. Shout out to you. That's crazy. That's crazy. He said, shout out to him. I said, shout out to you without reading the name. That's crazy. That's wild. That's wild. That's wild, bro. Wanted a shout out. That's crazy. The RBs are trash when you get out of round 3. Exactly. That's why I'm saying I think you got to attack at least one running back. I think it's necessary to get at least one running back early on. Once you get out of the starters, it definitely gets a lot rougher. Let's go here. Let's go here. Auto pick Bucky. It's not a bad pick. I'm kind of concerned about Bucky Irving this year. I don't know how you guys feel about Bucky Irving. I haven't really been on Bucky Irving, but it seems like a full-on committee We talk about Bucky Irving, talk about Sean Tucker, bring over Kenny Gainwell. They're talking about a 1A, 1B type situation. Damn, you really stole him, huh? Let's go. Let's get somebody consistent real quick. Damn, you took Marv? You did take Marv. Yeah, I would say for me, like that's shit, what was I? What was I just talking about? Oh, what was I? Somebody remind me what I was just talking about. I had something to say on that too. Damn. Made me pick my boy and made me lose my thought, bro. Oh, Bucky Irving. We're talking about Bucky Irving. That's gonna be too much of a crowded backfield. And so I think Bucky's still gonna lead the backfield. And you got a 1A, 1B situation in Tampa. Like it seems intriguing, but I don't really see Bucky already dealing with injury. I don't really see how he outperforms like RB2. I just don't see it. I don't see how he outperformed RB2 status. Like maybe he does. But you got too many mouths to feed there. Baker is going to be throwing the shit out of the ball this year. You get a healthy Jalen McMillan back. You get a healthy Chris Godwin back. You already have Emeka Ibuka. He was hurt last year. You get him healthy. Cade Otton. And you go and you draft big body and Ted Hurst, who's going to be, I think he's going to be a playmaker as soon as this season. And in best ball, I've been taking a lot of Ted Hurst. I think there's a lot. We forget who Baker was before last season, when he was dealing with basically all his receivers hurt. So rebound for Baker, yes, but more so a rebound for the passing game. And so I see that being kind of one of the things that potentially could be a turn for Bucky Irving to be past anything more than RB2. Josh dropped to maybe 8th round after crying on TV. Yo, they got to get over the hump at some point, man. But there's a lot of players who need to like get over the hump and win a Super Bowl. And especially with like the Seahawks winning, it didn't, for a lot of the main quarterbacks, it didn't like solve anything. Like Burrow still needs to win a Super Bowl. Lamar still needs to win a Super Bowl. You talk about Josh Allen still needs to win a Super Bowl. Are the Chiefs going to win on the revenge tour? Still need to win a Super Bowl, right? Matthew Stafford looking to win another one on the way out. Now that you got Myles Garrett there, like there's a lot of like you got Drake May, probably a future at quarterback, potentially winning Super Bowl. Like Trevor Lawrence, big name who got drafted number 1. Is he ever going to win the Super Bowl? I don't know. There's a lot of storylines and people that deserve to win that Super Bowl. We gonna see about him, man. Hell no, not Bo Nix. Hell no. Don't say Bo Nix, bro. What's one name you can't stop clicking? One name you can't stop clicking. Probably DK. I get to the range of like DK, Mar, Brian Thomas. Anytime I see those guys on the queue, it's an ugly range right around them. Because it's a lot of back end running backs. DK, I feel like is probably like the last. DK, Mar, Brian Thomas are the last of the guys with like elite potential. When I talk about trying to draft wide receiver ones, those are the guys that like kind of have that elite potential. Because then it gets to like Parker Washington and Xavier Worthy, just way more question marks. Jaden Reed and like just guys with a little bit more question marks. Josh Downs and I don't know if I really like that range. So I try to get at least 2 or 3 of those guys and then start attacking like the tight end position. That's why I say I don't really like taking tight ends super early, the Harold Fannons and Tucker Crafts and, because there's a few other guys late that I think can provide very similar type of production that go rounds later. So, I mean, George Kittle is a perennial per game, top 3 tight end per game. He's outside of the top 10. Travis Kelce finishes top 5 at tight end every single year. He's outside the top 10. You got Dallas Goedert. I want to say he led, I don't know if Trey McBride did. Trey McBride maybe did. But he had 11 touchdowns last year. And you just lose your best receiver in A.J. Brown. Dallas Goedert goes outside top 10. So I just think that there's way too much talent at the tight end position. Let's go. Let's go Godwin here. I think there's too much talent at the tight end position. If you're not going to take one early, then just wait on it. But yeah, there's a few names I click a lot, but I would say that those receivers, Brian Thomas, Marvin Harrison, Romo Dunze, DK Metcalf, those are the kind of players I continually take. Let's go. Oh wow, Darian Price still here. Yeah, they gotta update these rankings. Jadarian Price going after James Conner. What is going on? What is going on? Sleeper got to update the ADP, bro. Sleeper got to update the ADP. People still think it's going to be Bill in Washington. I think it's going to be White's job fully healthy. I agree with you. I think that Bill and I think Kaytron Allen will get mixed in there between the tackles running, short yardage situations. But I do think we'll see a lot of Rachaad White on the field. I agree with you a lot there. I agree with you a lot. You know who done got they bought all the Eagles, man. I don't want to hear about these fucking Eagles no more, bro. It's gonna be a minute. You lost AJ. It's gonna be a minute now. Bo Nix revenge for him. I do think with where Bo Nix is going right now, I don't know where he's going in sleeper ADP, but I want to say he's like the 15th quarterback off the board in best ball. And I do think he's actually a really good value in best ball because Bo Nix will have those games. He's a very up and down player, but he typically, last year I think he finished as a QB7, I want to say. He finished as a QB7 last year. So I do think Bo Nix is probably a value where he's going. I'm not a big Bo Nix guy, but I think that ankle injury, everybody's over concerned. We saw the picture that came out over the offseason, so I think everybody gets a little over concerned when they don't need to be. But I think he'll be a value. I do think he'll be a value. How y'all feeling about the draft right now? Any teams you guys like? What up, Jahan? I'm in the back of the draft with pick 14 in a 14-team draft, and I have Chase Brown as a keeper in the third. Should I go back-to-back wide receiver or wide receiver and running back? Very good question here. So I think when it comes to like the 14-team leagues, you want to have a little bit more diversity. So I think you already have Chase Brown, and you're like, should I go? It depends on who's available with keepers. But I do think, having, especially if you start 3 receivers, it's probably better to have more receivers and a running back so you have a little bit of flexibility with your next pick. Like if you go 2 running backs, for sure in the 4th round and 5th round, you're taking receivers. And in a draft, in a smart league, people, and especially in a 14-team league, people are going to be looking for that. The one thing I would say is that in a 14-team league, if you don't take the running back, if you don't at least take one running back, you may have problems finding another one after the 3rd round. That might be the only issue I say. So that's a very good question, actually. Everything in me says take back-to-back receivers, but depending on who's there, maybe you go running back. So that way you have your backfield solidified, and then you can find there is depth at the receiver position. There's just not a lot of guys that I truly like, but I do think that there's some depth at the receiver position, more so than the running back position. But I got a feeling this year we're going to see some guys backup running backs, like you talk about Rachaad White or Jordan Mason, or you see some of these backup running backs. I have a feeling they're going to be a little bit more prominent than we want them to be, unfortunately. Make sure y'all hit the like button, man. If y'all ain't hit the like button yet on the stream, hit it up. I'm going to try to get this thing popping a lot more. Some longer streams. I don't know how y'all feel about the streamers that do like in real life stuff. Would you guys ever watch that shit? I feel like just keeping it fantasy for the most part is my lane. How do y'all feel about that? If I did like a day in the life with me and like walked around and did some shit, how would y'all feel about that? I don't really know what I'd do. I'm not like a streamer, and I don't want to be walking around with a camera. I don't know how I feel about like walking around doing normal shit with a camera. How y'all feel about that? Am I pick yet? I'm covered up. Let's see. Gonna look at receiver here. Could take Diggs. Oh, Matthew Gold. Why is Matthew Golden down here? What are these rankings right now? What are these rankings? Sleeper, you gotta get this shit fixed, man. Sleeper got some work to do on the ADP side. Let's go Krosky Merritt just in case. I am riding with you on Krosky Merritt. I just took him as a backup right here. Retooled AJ got a bum knee. Now we got the best receiver in the draft. Oh my God, here we go. The best receiver in the draft, Mekhi Lemon. Barkley going to come back fresh off the L. I think Barkley's due for a bounce back year. He is getting older though. But I do think Barkley is due for a bounce back year. I like Saquon Barkley a lot at the back end of the first round, or the top. Sometimes you get him top of the second round, and I think we get bored of names very easily in the fantasy community, especially once they crack a certain age. We stop taking them, right? Like CMC, I faded him last year. It was a dumb decision to fade him last year, but we do fade people in the fantasy community a little bit too quickly. I think Saquon is a name that we forget. Like he was RB1 just the year before that, like elite year the year before that. So, yeah, I think Saquon's gonna be nasty. Gunnar Helm, I think Chig is gonna have a crazy year. I don't really like Gunnar Helm. I don't like Gunnar Helm at all. What is there to like about Gunnar Helm? Just because it's an open scenario for him? Like you're still playing with a rookie quarterback. They just got a number one receiver in Carnell Tate. You go sign a volume hog in Wan'Dale Robinson. I don't see a world where Gunnar Helm is anything more than an afterthought. Tell me why I'm wrong. What was Chig? Chig was an afterthought. And I think Chig's better than Gunnar Helm. What is there to look forward to with Gunnar Helm? You have Brian Daboll in there. His tight ends never do shit. What is there to like about Gunnar Helm? What is there to like? I ain't trying to shit on your boy or nothing, but what is there to like about Gunnar Helm? Nothing excites me. He's at best the third, more than likely the fourth option in the passing game, probably the fifth option. You get Tajay Spears and some of these backs in there. What is there to like? Chig is terrible. He had to go to Washington just to have a little bit of upside as a top 15 tight end. What is there to like? Thoughts on my draft pick on pick 9? I'll go over them in just a quick second. I'm going to go over in a quick second. I wanted to get this one in today since we didn't get to finish it yesterday. I wanted to get it in and just kind of talk a little bit about it. So, how you feel about Team 12? I'll go over the teams. Sheesh, I need to do a few more mocks. This is why it's mock draft season. I got a bunch of content coming up. I'm working. So, did you guys like the stuff with? Let me know in the comments. Y'all got to start running up these comments more too. Let me know in the comments. Did you guys like who did you like the content with the best? P, Tyler, Dub, or Laquan? Who'd y'all like the content with the best? Which style of content did you like? Because I know me and Tyler are going to do more content. Me and Laquan are going to do more content. Not sure about P right now. And then Dub, me and Dub have content coming too. Which content did y'all like the best? And why? Bonus points for the why. And then I got a different style of content too. I'm probably going to have more content this year than I ever have. And that's saying a lot because I used to have way more content. Or do you guys just like the solo content? I feel like the solo content's good when I have like an agenda, when we got to talk about like players or like when I got to get into specifics or like during the season. I feel like when you guys just want to hear advice for the teams, I feel like solo content's good. Or when I'm just kind of spitballing, but I feel like I do good with back and forth content because y'all get to hear me, you know what I'm saying, go back and forth and debate and shit too. You gonna be pushing out content like crazy this year? Yeah, 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 yeah. I'm probably going to be, like I said, the most content heavy I've been ever in a good way. And it won't just be football, won't just be fantasy. It'll probably just be like overall just good content. Like it's gonna be a lot of content, a lot. So if you need to ignore me or you need to unfollow, I get it. Like, but I'm gonna put out a lot of content. A lot of content this year. He the GOAT. Second GOAT, that is. Nah, P is a GOAT, man. He is a GOAT. Quan, you like Quan? Yeah, Quan is good, man. And like he brings the credibility. You know what I'm saying? He works with ESPN and with NFL Network. So Quan brings, and he's on Sirius XM. So, and he brings, you know what I'm saying? He brings a different, he sees fantasy through a different lens sometimes than me. So that's, I think he's good. P's the funniest. You and Tyler's a good debate. Quan has the most ball knowledge. Dub good for regular sports talk. Yeah. Everybody got their purpose, right? All right. P is funny. P, I gotta get P back on here, man. P's busy though. We'll see. Oil and water. That means we don't go together. Oil and water. So you and Tyler because of debates. Yeah, me and Tyler see fantasy differently too, but that's crazy. Me and Tyler, we're gonna have a show. I think we're gonna record tomorrow. That's the goal, and so I'll have content starting to roll with us very soon as well. So Dub, I'm gonna do some of our full stuff coming up here in a bit, like the full episodes of me and Dub going back, the full episodes of me and Tyler, and then me and Quan will have some full. It's gonna be a lot. I hope y'all ready, man. I'm probably gonna. I don't know. They probably gonna kill my account. Like they probably just gonna take my account away and be like, dude, you're pushing out too much content. But it's literally, I'm gonna try to have like too much content to watch, too much. So just get ready. Sorry, if it's like I said, if it's too much, my bad. But I'm gonna have too much content this year, and it's gonna be good shit. It's gonna be good shit. P actually educated like you and not a TikTok fantasy guy. It's funny, man, because like I would say I got to go over these teams, but it sucks because like, you know, some people consider me a TikTok fantasy, you know what I'm saying? TikTok fantasy guy until they see the live videos or until they hear me, you know what I'm saying, debate some other guys, you know, until they get in a league with me. Then they know I'm not just a content guy, but I really want to like bring some new to this space, you know, like I've been trying to do that with the fantasy football training camp last year. And I don't just, you know, there's times where I make gimmicky shit, but I try not to, man. I don't know. Cause that's how you stay relevant too, right? You got to have the views to stay relevant. You got to have the attention. So I'm just going to keep putting out shit this year and whatever sticks. I'm not going to really worry about views this year. This year is just going to be getting content out that people need to see and being different. I'm not going to go for like, I'm sure there'll be some of it, but most of it's going to be like, how the fuck do you win? And up here, the mental stuff behind fantasy, right? Behind fantasy, how do I win my championship? What draft style should I use? Like the shit that gets in the draft guide that not everybody sees. The people who buy the draft guide, y'all know it's different. It's not just regular, like, you know, use these metrics. I feel like it's kind of lazy at times just to go based off the analytics because everybody can look at the same analytics and pull damn near the same information. He's going to have a breakout because he won and he was the leader in yards per route run. So there is room for growth here. Like that's some basic shit. So I feel like draft strategy wise, knowing how to navigate a draft, knowing how to be comfortable in different situations, adapting, knowing risk, like being risk averse in your lineup. I think there's a world where like this shit needs me more than I even know sometimes. Like we about to change the game. This year is going to be a lot. I might burn out again, but I ain't burning out this year. I have my time off. I'm about to go crazy this year. I hope y'all know I'm about to go crazy this year. Get to the chop. The charger. Hey, we charged up today, baby. We charged up. It's going to be prop bets this year. Probably not. I'm not going to frame them as bets this year, but we are going to talk about player props. I don't know that I'm going to talk about betting them this year, though. Let y'all bet them if you want. I don't think I'm going to talk about unit size. I will talk about player props, but I'm not going to be encouraging betting this year. Because if y'all want to bet it, bet it. I don't want to promise you guys winning money on the betting side. On the fantasy side, let's do it. But I don't want to encourage this. I don't like the direction of the betting market right now, prediction markets. I don't really like it. And it took a kind of being away this last year for me to realize like that's a slippery slope for a lot of people, you know? I've had my own stories with betting before where like I've been down thousands of dollars back on the wall and needing a bet to hit just to break even. It's not a good feeling. I've been there before where you lose a bet and it's not a good bet to lose. And you got to lose some money you know, that you need in that moment. I've been on the golden side of a bet where I've won 20 grand and I got paid out, you know what I'm saying, betting through an illegal bookie at the time. I've seen very big wins on the fantasy app sites, but I've also seen a lot of people post how it can affect their lives. And I know for me, I just don't want to bear any of that anymore. I just want to, if you guys want the bets, y'all want the props, down to get the props. But I'm not going to talk about how to stack them together, to parlay them and all that shit. I'm just going to put player props that I like and keep it moving and let you guys be responsible with the gaming aspect of that. If I lose it, I lose it. But I don't want to promote the betting side of that anymore, just to be honest. Just to be honest. Same player, different aspects. Okay, yeah. I would say for the content, we good together for the content, but we do often see like very different sides of each player. So bring the content on the way. Let's get it. Let me get into this rankings, and I'm gonna answer some more questions. Feel free to keep dropping the questions in there. Clutch G2. So we got Jamar Chase, Devon Achane, ETN, good backs here. Oh, good job. Clutch G did good. Clutch G's been drafting. Clutch G has been drafting. So you got 3 receivers. You got Chase, Javonte Harrison. You got Devon Achane and you got Travis Achane and Devon Achane. The name, I don't know if I'm ever going to get the ETN, bro. ETN, that's what we call him. We're not calling you Achane, bro. But Devon Achane, Travis Achane. And then you got Colson Loveland and Caleb for the stack. You have been doing some best ball drafts, haven't you, Clutch G? Clutch G has been doing some best ball drafts. Got the stack there. PJ Washington, everybody's favorite sleeper this year. Oh, my gosh. And I don't know why I keep saying PJ Washington, bro. That's going to be a hard one for me. But Parker Washington, I got to make a hit piece on him, bro. I don't understand it. Rico Dowdle is your RB3. Rodriguez is your 4. I think this has some good upside, especially with the rookie receivers late. You got Casey Concepcion, and you got Omar Cooper. I feel good about this lineup. This will be a playoff team. This looks like a playoff team to me. Mine, I got Bijan, Ramondre, Jadarian Price. We got Bill Krosky-Merritt. We got Brock, Josh Allen, and then the receivers with Flowers, McLaurin, Metcalf, Godwin, Matthew Golden. How do y'all feel about it? I'll let you guys talk about my team. You already know how I feel about it. Cody has Gibbs, Cam Scatterbo, Chuba Hubbard. I got to make a Cam Scatterbo hit piece too. Why are we banking on Cam Scatterbo this season? I don't understand this one over like a DeAndre Swift or like a Bashal Tootin. This pick doesn't make sense. This pick doesn't make sense at all. Cam Scatterbo does not make sense at all here, coming off the major injury, probably in a split workload early. I don't understand this pick. Outside of that, you got A.J. Brown, T. Higgins, Watson, Pittman, good upside here. Josh Downs, good value here on Downs. Jalen McMillan, and you got Stafford at quarterback. You got Warren at tight end. I like this team. This looks like a playoff team. This looks like a playoff team. Getting Chuba down here. He'll probably start for you up here. This looks like a playoff team. Toker with Nakua, Pickens, Ibuka, Vernon, Oh, you got Chase Brown and Kyle Monunga. And Monunga is your RB2. Alvin down here late. Good pick with Alvin down here late. Still RB. Ridley, Jonah Coleman. I don't know how I feel about this one. I feel like this is not a playoff team, even with Puka and Ibuka. This is not Toker. I've seen you draft a little stronger than this, in my opinion. But I mean, this team could work out. You would have to have one of these running backs. You'd have to be able to pick one up in the season. Chris the Boss. We got CeeDee Lamb. Oh, I didn't give rankings. So I didn't give. It's all good. No rankings today. It's too early for rankings. CD, Tet, Wandale, and Worthy. Good job on Worthy down here. Running back room, Henry, Jeremiah Love, Quinshawn. I like it. Purdy and Tucker Craft. This looks like a solid team. Missing some upside at the receiver position outside of Worthy. Yeah, Hunter. I'm not a big Hunter fan this year. This isn't bad. I would say this is like a middle of the pack team too. McCaffrey, Travion. You got Olave, Neighbors, Mike. If Neighbors hits, this is a money lineup with Drake May, Harold Fannin, Jacoby, and Dobbs. I like this team. This is like a straight. If Neighbors hits and Fannin hit, this is a winner right here. This is a really good team. I love Drake May down here. Drake May in the 6th or 7th round is perfect, bro. We got JSN, K Walk, Lamar, Devontae. So receivers, you got JSN, Devontae, Sutton, and Tyson. Swift and K Walk. You got Gatson and Kincaid at tight end. This lineup looks cool. You got Jackson Dart. If Lamar is back to normal, you got a lot of number 2s here with like Adam, Sutton, and Tyson now. So you got a lot of number 2 receivers here. Kind of missing, even though Devontae is a 1. For real. He's still a 2. So limits your what I'm saying is your upside's a little limited. Gatson, you're kind of in a dual tight end scenario. Kincaid kind of lacks a little upside, especially with DJ Moore there now. So I think this team is probably a mid-tier to bottom-tier team. D. Flores, you got Jefferson, Wilson. How much more I got? I got 5 more. Jefferson, Wilson, Lemon. McBride early with Jacobson, Tootin. Jaden Daniels, a quarterback, good job. I don't like this team. Addison, Shakir, Jennings. You got a mid-tier running back room. Really, you got a mid-tier receiver room. You're top heavy with Jefferson and Wilson. I don't like this team. This is probably one of my least favorite teams so far. I like how you have a lead tight end, though. One of my least favorite teams so far. Prodigy, you got ARSB, McConkey, Michael Wilson, Pearsall, Kittle and Goddard. You got Burrow, Hampton Ball, Montgomery. I like this team. This is a good team, especially if the McConkey hype is real. You got to hit on one of these receivers. I like this team. This is a good team. So I think I've probably named a lot of playoff teams, unfortunately. This will be in contention for playoffs in like a 12-team league with 6 teams that make the playoffs in contention. Oh, who is this? Taylor, Cook, Devontae Smith, Rashee Rice, DJ Moore, Brian Thomas, Trevor Lawrence, Rachaad White, Jonathan Brooks, Kelsey, Jalen Naylor, and Diggs. This is definitely my favorite team of the bunch. This is my favorite team so far. This is definitely my favorite team so far. Waited for Kelsey. Yeah, this is definitely my favorite team out of the bunch so far. Taylor Cook down here in this round is crazy. Devontae Smith at the back end of the 3rd. Rashee Rice in the 4th. And then you got Brian Thomas and Trevor Lawrence. Like he's gonna be your flex. Brian Thomas is your flex. Rachaad White is your back end. Jonathan Brooks, you got upside. I love this team. Yeah, good job. That's my favorite team of the bunch so far. T. Rio, you got Genty, Javante, Bucky, London Tate, Pierce. Receiver room's kind of weak in my opinion. Johnston, Jalen Coker. Andrews Late's good. I like your running back room with Javante Irving. You got, a lot of dual backfields here, though. Mason Dobbins and Bucky. You got Genty. You got Javante. I like this team. This team looks like a contender. The only thing with taking Tate is like your wide receiver, too, is he has to hit now. He has to hit. And then Killer Ant, Saquon, Kyron, RJ Harvey, good job. Nico, Waddle, Odunze, good job. Laporta, Dak, good job. This is a very safe lineup. Missing a little bit of the top end. I like Waddle, like Barkley for like bounce backs. RJ Harvey for for upside. Odunze. Actually, I like this team. This is a top 3 or 4 team. I like this team too. I like this team a lot. So good job, guys. Good job. Good job. Sorry if I didn't give you a good rating, but that's just you guys know I give you the best advice I can, man. Draft guy was fire last year. Draft guy this year will be fire as well. It will be. Lifelong Juwan Truther with your last pick. He balled out finally. Yeah, he did ball out last year. I think he could have a good season again this year, especially Tyler Shook. If that shit was for real with Tyler Shook last year, he definitely would be. He'll be a bargain this year. Best outlet to recruit people into a league, probably comment section. I don't know if that's good, or you can go to the Discord. We got a Discord too. Here, you can get us like you want to get into a competitive league, go to the Discord. I never got to the betting side. I like to enjoy the show. Yeah, it's fun though. It's fun to win money. It's fun to win money. It is. It's fun to be right and win money. So, but I will be doing player props. It's just I'm not going to be talking about like betting on them. I'm just going to be talking about player props that I like, more fantasy wise. When it comes to co-host, Jahan always right. I mean, y'all already know. We bring whoever on the show. I don't get, you know what I'm saying? I don't get Eminem doing what was that? Eminem and why can't I fucking think of that? I brought up a reference I can't even think of right now. Eminem murders you on your own shit. It was a Jay-Z. All good on player props. Glad you're back. I want to get to the championship in 3 leagues like 2 years ago. We hungry. Yeah. I think this year, if you're hungry, I am going to be locked in this year. Locked in. Parker. I said PJ Washington. That's crazy. Pittman is going to turn DK into wide receiver 3 this season. So I need to talk about that too. Do you mean that in a good way or a bad way? Because I think people think DK is already a wide receiver 3. So are you saying that you think DK is going to be worse, or you think he's going to be better? Because I kind of think DK is going to be much better this year. I think Pittman's going to open things up for him. Out on Cam, me too. I got you. You think he's going to be worse? If I didn't have to go right now, if I ain't had to go right now, I probably would tap into. I'll talk about that a little bit. But your boy got a dip. No more draft. Underdog fantasy football in here. They gone. Out of here. No longer. Listen, it's been real, y'all. I'll be back. Peace out.